So our second grounds for evaluating market structures is consumers. So, and we said that consumers care primarily, at least, I mean, they care about lots of things, yeah, but we've kind of categorized it by four main areas. We said they care about price, quality, choice, and information. So we take, if we take price first of all, how are things looking as far as price is concerned? Well, the first thing we know is that price is going to be higher than perfect competition. In perfect competition, firms are forced to the minimum point of the average cost curve. Yeah, because in perfect competition, they compete only on price. In monopolistic competition, what we know is that price is therefore, price is higher than in perfect competition. Price is higher, as a result of which that's going to lead to a loss of consumer surplus. You can show that. Buy some new pens. You can show that here. There's demand. Margin only twice as steep. Let's go do marginal cost first. Marginal cost, profit maximising output, where MC equals MR. We want just normal profits to be made. Minimum point of the average cost curve is there. So we're saying that in monopolistic competition, price is there. At the minimum point of the average cost curve, price would have been there. And as a result, we can see that consumer surplus is going to be lost. Prices are higher than they would otherwise have been. So, or compared with the allocative efficient output again, which would happen in perfect competition, would be there. We can show that loss of consumer surplus if you want. However, there is some competition. So you might argue that demand is going to be reasonably price elastic. So therefore price might not be driven that high. On the other hand, there are no economies of scale in monopolistic competition. Because there are no barriers to entry, this means that firms don't really get the opportunity to become particularly large. There's always new other firms breaking into the market. We've talked before about this being hairdressers and taxi firms, and you tend not to get kind of these giant chains of hairdressers. There's maybe Tony and Guy if that's still around, but there aren't very many. So as we said that in some market structures we haven't really talked about, the presence of large firms allows them to get economies of scale, which drive down price. So price, hard to say. It's not going to be as low as in sectors that have huge economies of scale. It's higher than perfect competition, but there is still some competition. If we look at choice, here we actually do have a win for monopolistic competition, because the whole point about monopolistic competition, is that we've got a range, of differentiated products. So we're talking about restaurants. You've got loads of choice, even within, you've got choice of different types of cuisine. You could have, you could go for a curry. You could have pasta. You could go for spicy, not spicy. You could go for kind of traditional pub food and so on. So you've got quite a wide range of choice, and even within a particular type, if you were to take a particular type of cuisine, like French, there are lots of different types of French restaurants at different pricing points offering different varieties. So therefore consumers do face quite a lot of choice. They do have quite a lot of choice rather. So therefore that's beneficial. Thirdly, if we look at quality, well, it depends on how you look at it. On the one hand, they are competing on non-price factors. So there is a degree, quite a lot of non-price competition. Therefore, I want to offer a decent quality service. But our issue is, there's no dynamic efficiency. There's no abnormal profits to reinvest into this market. So therefore, quality, it won't improve much over time in monopolistic competition because firms don't have that profit to reinvest. So quality may be fine, in the short term because they want to do as good a job as they can, but they haven't got the profits to really invest in improving quality in the longer term. And finally, we said the last. Yeah, so again, there's lots of kind of mixed messages here about monopolistic competition. And the last one then is information. We know that it is imperfect. Yeah, so consumers are not fully informed. So the risk is that they can be exploited. So in the market for dentists, for example, you go to the dentist, you don't really know whether your teeth need filling or not, and unscrupulous dentists will just carry out kind of lots of unnecessary work. So one danger of monopolistic competition is the absence of perfect information means that you might get exploited. But on the other hand, it's also an opportunity for some firms you can compete on information. So there are sites where you can get Trustpilot and places like that where you can get kind of recommendations from consumers. You can offer guarantees of your work. So again, to try to show consumers that you are a reputable firm. So on the one hand, there is a danger, that information asymmetry could lead to being exploited. But on the other hand, firms know this and they might take advantage of that. So it should theoretically, especially these days with kind of access to information online, be possible to overcome the worst issues with information asymmetry in monopolistic competition through things like consumer reputation, word of mouth, and so on and so forth. So, you get the key point about monopolistic competition is, unlike perfect competition, products aren't identical. You actually do get some genuine choice. Your needs are more closely met. It's not just kind of one size fits all. But prices are probably going to be a bit higher than in perfect competition. Information is less good.